Okay, so for this video, I would like to do another enemy AI. The only difference between this one and the previous skeleton enemy is that this one is going to be much bigger, and it's going to be a little bit more sophisticated, so a little bit more intricate, or a little bit more complex coding. So right away, I'm going to right click, create an empty, and call it Tusk, because that's the name of my enemy. And I'm going to set it to 0, 0, 0. And I'm going to grab my model. Well, first I need to, with the model selected, I need to go to avatar definition, and then create from this model, apply. I'll go ahead and drag and drop it into the scene. Make sure it's 0, 0, 0, 0. And I'm going to select the mesh, and underneath the default pose, and I'm going to set the render layer mask to light 1, and uncheck default. That way only the correct one, the correct light is affecting it. I'm just going to close the default pose, and I'm going to parent it under the Tusk empty object. Before I go any further, I need to go into the animations, and I need to set some of these to loop. So under loop time, I need to check it and then apply. So this one is when he's dead. Fight pose idle, apply, punch 1, punch 2, roll attack, run, has to be idle, spin attack, stab 1, stab 2, lock, that needs to be idle, tusk, that's the idle pose, rotate left, rotate right, run, and walk. So with that done, I'm going to select the Tusk object, and I want to create an animator. I'm going to set the avatar to Tusk default avatar that I just created. I'll create a capsule collider. Let's go to side view, and I'll just set it into place. So the radius, let's try the height. It should be about that, roughly 3. And I also need a rigid body. And I'm just going to freeze rotation. And I'll just leave it as is for now. I need to go into the animator folder and create animation controller. Let's call this Tusk animator. And I'll just open that up. So first I need to create a blend tree. So this will be the default blend tree. I'm going to go in here, click that, and I need 3 motion fields. So this will be the Tusk, idle, walk, run. So if I hit play, he's idling, he's walking, and running. So let's stop that. I'm gonna go back into the base layer. I'm gonna create another blend tree. This one's gonna be called fight pose. And first I'll create a boolean called fight pose, and it goes into the fight pose if the fight pose is true, and when it's false, it goes back. Fight pose is false, so I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to do the same thing, create 3 motion fields. The first one, fight pose idle, fight pose walk, and fight pose run. Oops. So if I go ahead and play, he's idling, walking, and running. Okay, so that's good. Back here, back to the base layer, animations. I'm just going to go through these again. Dead idle, I'm not going to worry about yet. Death, I'm not going to worry about. Fight pose idle, punch 1. And punch 2. I'm just going to use these ones for now. It's going to be triggers, so let's call it attack 1, attack 2. The reason why I'm calling it attack instead of punch is because I'm going to, I may do some of the other attacks later, so I'll just keep the naming convention simple. So attack 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. So this will be straight from the fight pose. And this is if attack 1 is triggered. And this one is if attack 2 is triggered. And they both bounce back when the animation is done playing. I'm just going to go through these real quick. Punch 1, roll attack I'm not going to do. I've already taken care of that. Spin attack. Alright, rotate left, rotate right. Okay, so so this is rotate left. Actually, these have to be blend trees. So this one's going to be rotate left, rotate right. Oops. So double click. This one's going to be one motion field. rotate right. And these are going to be booleans. Rotate left and rotate right. So, pick a transition. This one's going to be if rotate left is true, it's going to bounce back. If rotate left is false, and this one's going to be true if rotate right is true. It's going to go back. If rotate right is false. I'm going to select the Tusk enemy again, and I'm just going to quickly set the animator, Tusk animator, and I need to create a script, so I'll create model behavior script and call it Tusk. Actually, I can close some of these. I'm just going to go into the editor and drag the script onto the enemy before I forget. And I'll double click to open it up. So right away, I need to create some variables. So first I'm going to create, I've got quite a lot of variables actually. So first one is a boolean called is turning equals true, float turn direction equals 1, bool can look at player equals false, float distance to player, a bool called sees player. I create a vector 3 called Tusk rotation, which is the current rotation of the enemy, and vector 3 called look at rotation, which is the rotation that the enemy would have to be, that Tusk would have to be in order to be looking at the player, and a float called angle to player, which is the difference between the previous two variables. And public game object called attack collider, public game object player. I need an animator, let's call it animator, and I need a rigid body called RB. I need a float called run speed, and will be set to 8 for now. I may change it later. Float walk speed will be set to 3. Which attack, left punch or right punch, well, this has to be the float. I'll set it to 1 by default, and can attack attack, bool can attack equals true, and I'll quickly set the animator. So the animator equals get component animator, and RB equals get component rigid body. And quickly, I'm going to hop back in to the editor, and I'm going to add, with the test selected, I'm going to create an empty called, let's call it hurt area, and it's going to have a box collider, and this hurt area is going to be roughly about here. So when he attacks, his attack lands about here. Make it a little bit bigger, maybe 1.5. Into this, I'm going to drop a script called hurt area, which is made for the skeleton. So I just need to drag and drop the main character into this field. And by default, this hurt area is going to be disabled. I'm going to hop back into the script, and inside the update, I'm going to start off by doing if is turning is equal to true. I'll do else if is turning is equal to false. And in here I'll do if C's player is equal to false, else if C's player is equal to true. So when he's turning, this is when he's not in attack mode. He's just sort of like looking around, looking for the player. So if he doesn't see the player, that means he's like maybe turned the other way. In this case, if if turn direction equals 1, then transform dot rotate vector 3 dot up times, I'll say 0.1 times time dot delta time comma space dot world, which is world space. I could use local space, but I'll just use world. And animator dot set bool turn left is true. Let's copy and paste this. And turn right, make this false. I'll copy and paste this whole thing. else if turn direction is equal to 2, then he's going to be turning minus 0.1 f units times time dot delta time, and turn left will be false in the animator, and turn right will be set to true. C's player is false, and both of these are false, and this is going to be set to 0, so it's just standing idle. So like even if he does see him, like for a brief moment, he's just going to like stand there, I guess, and think or something. And as soon as that happens, he's going to do a coroutine. Start coroutine. I'll call it start moving. So outside of the update, I'll do enumerator start moving. You'll return new, wait 4 seconds. Let's just say he stands there for about 3 seconds. Then he'll animator dot is turning is set to false, which means he's going to start moving and attacking. So when this is false, right away I'm going to do I'm going to set the turn direction to the other turn direction. So if turn direction equals 1, then turn direction equals 2. Oops. Let me paste that. I'll set turn direction equals 2, and turn direction is set to 1. So right after I set the turn direction, I'm going to go down here and say if distance to player, which is, I'm going to set that a little bit later, happens to be greater than, I'll just say 10 for now. Then RD, which is the rigid body, linear velocity equals transform dot forward times run speed, animator dot set float speed is going to be set to 1, and can look at player is set to true, copy and paste this whole thing. If distance to player is greater than 3 and distance player is smaller or equal to 10, then he's going to be moving at walk speed. The animator speed is going to be set to 0.5, and can look at player is going to be true as well, because it's going to be an else if. Copy and paste it again. If distance to player is smaller or equal to 3, then his linear velocity is going to be 0. Speed, animation speed is 0, and the can look at player is false. So this is when he attacks, and the can look at player is false. So this is when he attacks, and when he attacks, he's not going to rotate anymore. So under this condition, if distance player is smaller or equal to 3, if which attack equals 1, and can attack equals true, then which attack gets set to 2 and can attack is set to false. The animator set triggered is going to be attack 1. Attack collider dot set active is going to be true, and start coroutine can attack again, because can attack the variable is set to false, so I need to set to true, so I need to create, let's copy and paste this. Can attack again after 0.1 seconds. Attack collider set active false, so it's only activated for a very brief second, or not even a second, like 0.5 seconds, and then after a second after that, can attack set to true again. Okay, I also need to copy and paste this. I'll make this an else if the which attack is equal to 2, then it gets set to 1. Attack 2, animation is triggered. Attack collider set to true, and then the coroutine is triggered again. I also need to create another coroutine is turning, so right here I'm going to do start coroutine called start turning. And it's going to be enumerator start turning. Will return new wait 4 seconds after say 5 seconds. Is turning equals true. And the reason I'm doing this is because I need an opportunity. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, I don't know why. I'm going to leave these curly brackets. I need an opportunity to set this boolean to true again. So I'm not sure if I'm going to change it, but I'm just going to leave it like this for now. So he's like chasing the character for about 5 seconds. And then all of a sudden after 5 seconds he like starts like looking around again. So for now I'm just going to leave that as how I, actually I'll make this a bit bigger. Instead of 5 seconds I'll say like after 7 seconds. So all that's good, but there's a bunch of variables that aren't set. So within the update I'm going to create I'm going to trigger a function in the update called calculations. And it's going to be private void calculations. So it's constantly triggered by the update. And in here, I'm going to do distance to player equals vector 3 dot distance bracket player dot transform dot position and the tusks transform dot position. And this distance player is what's used to determine whether he's going to run, walk, or stand in one spot and attack. If can look at player is equal to true, then transform dot look at new vector oops. No, that's right. That was new vector 3 player dot transform dot position dot x transform dot position dot y. So I'm not using the player's transform position dot y because I don't want the tusk to be rotating in the pitch. And this is going to be player dot transform dot position dot z. So this he only rotates if this is true, and that's set if he's running or walking, but if he's standing still, if he's really close to the player and standing still, then can look at player assault is false. Then this won't be triggered if it's false. And then look at rotation, which is the rotation that he would have to be in order to be looking at the player. Is quaternion dot look rotation player dot transform dot position and transform dot position. I'm gonna get wrong here. Transform player. The reason why this isn't working is because this look at rotation, I set it to vector 3 in the variable, so it needs to be quaternion. So look at rotation. The tusk rotation equals new vector 3 tusk dot transform dot rotation dot x. Actually, I don't need a tusk transform dot rotation dot x. Dot y and z. And then angle to player is equal to vector 3 dot angle look at rotation, comma tusk rotation. Rotation. Oh, I know why. What I'm gonna do to fix this is I'm gonna do vector 3 called look at rotation 2, because I already have a look at rotation here. And this is going to be equal to the first look at rotation, but I'm going to turn it into Euler angles, I think. And I just have to make this look at rotation 2. Okay, so with that done, now I need to use this angle to player. So if angle to player is smaller than, let's say, 5, and angle to player is greater than -5, then C's player is equal to true. Just copy and paste this. Else if angle to player is greater or equal to 5, or smaller equal to -5, then C's player is false. So I think that's pretty much everything. I'm going to compile that. Oh, I'm actually missing a bracket here, so I'll compile that again and hop back in here. Okay, so with the task selected, I'm going to go down to the script, and it's looking for the attack collider, which is this one, and the player is going to go here. Actually, a couple things I need to change is this is not turn left, this is rotate left. So I'm going to copy, paste, paste. And one other thing that I want to change is the attack collider. Instead of making it active right away, I'm going to make it active after about half a second, so 0.5 seconds. Attack collider set to true. And then 0. Let's say, 1 second, it's false. I'll make it 2. And then 1 second after that, can attack. It's set to true again, so it can attack again. I'll compile that. Looks like I also forgot bracket here, and I'm actually going to make this smaller. I'm going to make this 1.5 and 1.5. I think 3 is too far from the player. Okay, so I decided that I'm not going to use this if C's player boolean. Instead, I'm going to cancel all this out. So he'll just keep on turning until like this coroutine will be triggered, and he'll just keep turning for, what do I have here, start moving, for 3 seconds. I'll make it even higher, so let's just say 5 seconds he keeps turning. Because I don't think the calculation is happening. It's not C's player is not being set to false. So I'm going to have to leave that out for now. I want to go ahead and compile that. And I'm going to hop back into the editor. Okay, one other thing that I forgot is in the animator, I forgot to change the name of this to speed. And we'll see what happens if I hit play. Okay, he's not rotating. So after, all right, so animator dot set bool. So all this has to be set to false. And if turning is set to false, and okay. So let's see if that works. Okay, I think it's because these values are way too small, so I'll try like, I also think these are flipped. I think the top one has to be minus, so I'll try minus 50 and then positive 50 for the bottom one. Then I'll try that. Okay, so if I hit play, okay, he is turning now. And he follows me for 5 seconds. And then he looks for me again, except he's I forgot to add can look at player is false. If he's turning, looking for the player, he can't look at player. Look at player is only true when he's running or walking towards the player, and that can look at player is set to true. Setting the can look at player to true makes him rotate. So this look at rotation is different from this turn to rotation because the turning rotation is when he's looking for the player. The look at player rotation is when he's actually seen the player and he walks or runs towards the player. One more thing. Well, first of all, I forgot to turn the hurt area of the enemy task. I need to make that a trigger. And in order to measure, in order to calculate the look rotation, I'm going to use a different method. So under here, under task, I'm going to create an empty, call it look at player, and I'll just leave it like that. Make sure it says 0, 0, 0. I'll do public game object. Object look at player, and I'm going to try, whoops, I do wrong. Oh, down here, instead of doing angle to player like this, I'm going to do focal player equals, first I need to grab this. Do look at player transform rotation, make it like 100. Actually, I just need to use this. So this look at player, this empty object that I just created, is constantly going to look at the player, and I'm going to do the angle between look at player I guess look at player no, that does not work. Transform, that doesn't work either. Game object, okay, I think I know what I need to do. First I need to get rid of these. I need to create another vector 3 look at player rotation equals, what is this? And just change all these to look at player look at player, and change this to look at player rotation. And I'm going to compile that and cross my fingers. Okay, I'm going to hop back into the editor, select task, and in this new field for look at player, I'm going to drag and drop the look at player object I just created into this field, and I'm going to hit play. And he does not rotate for some reason. But if he punches me, he take hits. But he's not rotating. I don't know what's wrong. Okay, so I decided to calculate it this way. So at the look at player, the object that's constantly looking at the player, I'm getting the look at player transform.euler angles.y. So I'm just getting the y value, and I'm sending it to look at player y, and tusk rotation y, I'm getting this tusk rotation, and I'm just getting the Euler angle.y. The reason why this wasn't working before is because I was using the entire vector when I only needed just the y value. So that's probably why it wasn't working. So now it's working. So instead of setting angle to player to this vector 3, it shouldn't be a vector 3, it should just be a single float. As you can see, there's a float, float minus float. And one other thing that I'm going to add is when he's not rotating, when he's not searching for the player, then set float speed should be 0. Okay, so I'm going to compile that. Okay, so I'm going to quickly hit play, and now he's rotating to me. As soon as he sees me, he stops. He stares at me, and then he walks towards me, And then he punches and then deals damage. And I rotates again to search for me. Stands there for a bit, then starts coming to me. So it's not perfect, but I think this is good for now. Obviously, there's lots of improvements I can make, but I'm just going to cut it off here. I think this is enough just to show the complexity of this. But yeah, that's all I'm going to do for this video. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and please stay tuned for more videos.